I like animals. I think we should be nicer to animals in general. And I'm not just talking about, like, you know, not tear down their rainforests and stuff. I mean the animals that we live amongst, the ones that are able to adapt to us, that we live around. And I'll give you, this is a story about me failing to do so, right? I was out drinking and I'd gotten so drunk that I decided to take myself home. And I got home, right? And I was smoking a joint, and I looked down on my hand, and on my hand is this little baby huntsman spider, right? And it wasn't any harm, you know, it was tiny, and it had tiny legs and tiny fangs, and it was really quite cute, in a way. And it was kind of an odd thing to find cute, you know, it got me actually thinking about the nature of what cute actually is. And this sounds obvious, but basically I think cute is when something is smaller than its own eventual size, but it's a relative thing. And what I mean by that is, like, a baby elephant is quite cute, but still quite big. You know, I don't think a baby huntsman would be quite so cute if it was the same size as a baby elephant. So anyway, so I look back down on this little guy, and I quite like huntsmen as well, you know. I respect the fact that they get by on their cunning and their wits and their stealth and their speed, you know. I don't quite so much respect, say, the funnel web spider. I think they're just a bit of a show-off, really. Because, like, hey, did you know that we've got one of the world's deadliest poisons? Ah! It's like, that's good, mate. What do you think it is you're catching precisely? Dragons? No. It's flies, isn't it? You are catching flies. You can kill a fly with a well-aimed moonbeam. You know. Using one of the world's deadliest poisons to kill a fly is like using a rocket launcher to kill a kitten. You know, you wouldn't use a rocket launcher to kill a kitten, would you? No. Just bop it on the head with a soup spoon, chuck it off a cliff, hope the RSPCA didn't see it. But, stupid funnel webs. Anyway. So I look at this little guy, I go, okay, so I open up my veranda doors and I take him outside and I piff him off into a tree, right? I go back inside. About a minute later, I look down and there he is again. At least, I think that it's him. And I go, oh, look at you, you little beggar. Did you put a bit of web on me and swing back inside, did you? Or maybe it's just my animal magnetism. Yeah. There are defining moments in our lives, ladies and gentlemen. And I think being stoned home alone at 4 a.m. in the morning cracking wires to baby spiders might be one of mine, but... Anyway, I take him outside again, I piff him off into the tree, go back in. About a minute later, 2 of them spin past me in stereo. And I think what I thought was going on is no longer the case. And I look up to the ceiling, and there's about 80 of them up there, right? I know, because I did, like, an approximate grid kind of... Anyway, you don't need to know that. About 80, right? Now, as individuals, cute. As a group, not so cute, really. Don't really see myself saying to any of my friends, oh, you must come around and check out my free-range baby spiders. They are adorable. But by the same token, I didn't want to kill him, you know. They're only like new little souls, new to life, couple hours old maybe. And so what I did was I just opened up the veranda doors, left them open, just hoping that they would smell the world and just go. You know, and I went to sleep that night. And by the way, it's very difficult to go to sleep when you're lying under a roof full of baby spiders, especially if you're smoking joints at the same time, because you're thinking, I'm probably just making them hungry. Anyway, I woke up the next day and, of course, they were all still there, right? So I called up, I was seeing a girl at the time, don't know, must have been raining fairy floss on Mars that week, but I was seeing this girl, right, and I called her up and I told her about it, and she informed me in no uncertain terms that she would not be spending another night in my Transylvanian-themed bedroom, thank you very much, till I sorted this the fuck out, you know. And I was like, come on, baby, come on. They're only little baby spiders. They ain't gonna hurt you. I don't talk like that. I don't know why I pretend to. No. And she wanted me to get rid of them, and she wasn't talking like a quick job where you just smash a few and the rest all scamper off and disappear into different sectors of the room, and there's a fairly good chance that one has gone and built a nest under the condoms, which is some fairly smart thinking on its behalf, let's face it, because at my rate, that's some fairly stable real estate. But... she was talking annihilate them all, right? Wipe them out. And so my choice basically became, like, sex or death. And Put a man in that situation, you know it's not going to go right. And, but I did. I waited for 2 days, left the door open. I was like, go, why don't you go, spiders? I've left the door open for 2 days. I got a jar, I put it on the end of a pole. I was trying to catch them all that way. You know, they wouldn't behave. You know? I was like, you spiders, I am tired of my dick being cute. Smaller than its own eventual size. Come on, catch up. But I'm sorry to say that I did crack. In fact, I cracked. I went to the shop and I bought some spray and I sprayed all my little friends. And what happened when they died, they didn't die immediately. They spun down about that far off the roof and then they died. So I wound up with this suspended hanging graveyard of baby spiders. Come on, baby, they're dead. They ain't gonna hurt you now. Come on. Let's get over the grief by making some love. So she never came round again, and the spiders were dead, and everybody lost. Zing! But yeah, so, you know, I try and be nice to little creatures. I fail. I try, though. For example, I don't know why people get so shut off by having ants in their houses. You know, to me, ants are just little things that come into your house, they take crap that you don't want, and they get lost. Like, for example, every night before I go to sleep, I usually have a bowl of ice cream in bed, right, before I nod off. And, and when I'm done, I put the bowl down next to my bed. I wake up in the morning, you know what? It's chock-a-block full of ants. And I think I should probably do something about that. But I can't be bothered, so I go away. I come back a couple of hours later. You know what? The ants are gone. The bowl is clean. That's good to go again. Sometimes I think I should do all my washing up by hand. But I do snap sometimes. Like, say that there's a bowl full of ants, right, and I want to put it in the washing up because they're taking too long. Then... But I still try and be nice. I still get the bowl, I put it on the bench, and I tap the bowl on the bench. I go tap, 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 out you get ants, out you hop, tap, tap. And the ants, they all go crazy. They go running around in circles. Some of them get out of the bowl. Some of them just run round and round and round until they eventually forget that they've just had the most traumatic experience of their entire lives. And they settle right back down to eating again. I'm like, ants, no good. Here's another warning, tap, tap, tap. Once again, the ants go crazy, running around in circles. Some of them get out, some of them stay in. And I'm like, you ants who are left, you are fucking retarded. Who eats ice cream during an earthquake? Strawberry. Oh, and here comes a tsunami full of washing up detergent. Great. Thank you so much, guys. Have an excellent evening.